Sure. So I'm the lead resource within HP on what we call the IT transformation. In IT transformation, one of the pieces is talking about data center consolidation, but there's so many more moving parts associated with it. So all of the benefits, they're all great, we just mentioned, but some of the other benefits that we see, and we try to focus on a lot, is as the transformation is happening in a data center consolidation, make use of application portfolio management, right? Mm-hmm. When you move it, let's treat the applications, because it's all about data, in a life cycle approach. And why we think this is really important, because as you move the application and as you transform it, you need to understand if this is ever going to be cloud ready. Do we need to take this application and overlap and move it? Because the applications are what we're providing for the data.
Right.
And very key. The second piece that we focus a lot on is continuous monitoring, right? The NIST 800,
right.
The whole idea of, as I'm consolidating this data center, I need to tie my security operations into my IT operations. Right. Continuous monitoring, right. Online, discovering networks, doing license management, components management, and really tying it together. And then third is the security piece, right? As I move my applications to the data center, let's scan them. Let's ensure that these applications are now secure, because I am boxing things in.
Right.
I'm moving it down. I'm shrinking the footprint. So therefore, if I do it right, I'm going to be more secure, but I also need to worry about the applications on top of it. Sure, certainly. So when we look at the cost of running IT, right, in the data center, and the bulk of the cost is 51% of it is associated with indirect cost tied back to the data center. So as we go through the data center transformation or consolidation, overall it's about 7% cost for data center and power, whereas the big cost associated with it is the system administrators, the people who support all the applications and data. And being able to provide tools and components that help automate what the folks do in a lifecycle management of applications is really where the big savings could come going forward once the platform is built. And when I talk about the platform, a real secure, robust data center, now you consolidate it down and you automate on common platforms, common operating systems, common databases, so you need less administrators, less people running the database. You become less, risky as an environment, because no matter what, people want to improve services. They want to be able to, time to market has to be reduced, right? All of these components that add up in a more secure environment, the real way to do it is to consolidate, but then make use of that platform to build upon and standardize on technologies and ways to automate the way you do business.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, and to all the questions. So HP, big company, we do have managed services. We'll host, but we also do have cloud services, both for commercial and for FedRAMP customers. So we really do play in that space. And in the space where I play from the data center consolidation, what we do is we help folks. Because getting to a cloud is a journey, like Anil said. It's you build the data center, you turn up cloud services like infrastructure as a service and platform as a service. But then the big piece and the big transformational piece is when my applications that I have, right, are they cloud ready, and how do I enable them to be cloud ready? And move those applications now into the cloud, if applicable. Some things are ready just to be managed service providers, because I need to be able to take advantage of this concept of bursting and running on someone else's network. So I need to have my applications enabled to be able to take advantage of that. And HP really plays in all the different arenas. And different groups have different strategies, but ultimately, we're here to help the government in any way that they need.
Right.
Well, the first thing is we do a lot of workshops around how to help companies and agencies go to data center transformation. And the number one thing is executive sponsorship, right? Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's pretty obvious. But it wavers, because this is, again, it's a journey. It's multiple years. And as executive sponsorship changes over the years, sometimes things fall through the cracks, right? In focusing on governance, right? So I'm building a data center. I have a data center running. Now I really need to make use of and get some of those gains that I promised, right, Congress going forward, is governance in the sense of responsibility, accountability, who's in charge, Who gets to make the right decisions at the right time? Because typically what we do is we create an infrastructure where it always goes to the top, right? Instead of really delegating to the right level within the organization to make the changes. And then back to portfolio and project management, right? Tying it together is, I have a portfolio of applications that I'm going to move. I know their life cycle. I know when they're going away, but now I have projects. And every one of these projects shouldn't be 3 months. What we do at HP is the longest project or component is 9 months because it becomes measurable every year. Do I want to keep the project going? And did the people fail? Did the people succeed? Is my team achieving the goals that I go forward? And if you focus on the governance, portfolio management, and what Anil said and other people is focus on process. Right. How do I run my business now that I'm transformed? How do I keep my platforms, my portfolio? How do I make people use the cloud, right? Instead of using virtualization and putting things out in the field.
Right.
Really focused on that piece.
Good point. I think.
Well, I'm not so sure I have a great crystal ball, but what I do see, I think a lot of what government does and what the consumers of government services will be as if you're home working on the internet, right? A lot of, smartphones, a lot of computers, a lot of the applications that we typically use in our everyday life that, it becomes very obvious now if you're going to go subscribe to some service, you go on your smartphone, you do it, you download all the information. And I think as we get this data center consolidation and transformation, secure the data center, I think we'll have a lot of this BYOD, bring your own device, whereas, just as if there's no reason now to use multiple devices when you're doing access to that point. So I really think the innovation side of it, providing new web technologies to the field, to the people out, to our consumers, is really the next great layer for where the government's going.
Terrific. Thanks.